Hello, coach. Welcome to the post-match press conference. We have a few questions from the press. Would you consider yourself extremely lucky to have avoided a defeat and that too by a heavy margin?
No, I don't. I don't know why. I think Kerala had some chances. Hit the woodwork as we did. I think we were the first one to team hit the woodwork in the first half. And when we talk about chances, shots from 25 yards. I mean, it's not chances. So no, the answer to that, I thought a draw was a fair result tonight.
From the last time you played Kerala Blasters, you managed to keep Jordan Murray and Putia rather in control today. How do you analyse the match?
Well, I analyse the match in the first 30 minutes. I thought we were in total control of the game. We were very comfortable in the game. And then the 15 minutes prior to half-time, I thought Kerala did very well and gave us one or two problems. Had a couple of opportunities that hit the woodwork. In our respect, we need to be a bit tighter. We were a bit slack. I spoke to them at half-time. And I thought the second half was pretty even. I think both teams had opportunities, not clear goal-scoring opportunities, just half chances. So that's why I think over the piece of draw was certainly a fair result.
Did you miss the kind of leadership and calmness Peter Hartley brings to the back line?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think Narendra did well, because Narendra's been out injured. He's played a couple of games at full-back. Still got up to full speed, but I think he did fine. But obviously with Peter Hartley's there is a lot of vocality. He's an organiser, he's a leader. But young Narendra did well, which is great for him, because it's great to get a young Indian centre-back playing that well. Playing against two very good players, Jordan Murray and Gary Hooper, two wonderful strikers. So Narendra will certainly benefit that. But of course, it's always nice when you've got your skipper available, because he adds a lot to your team, both for and both against the ball, but even with the set play threat as well.
You got Fitzgerald and Farouk in support of Vasquez. Do you think the trio needs more time to gel well, or do you fear you might be running out of time?
No, I think what happened was, it was Nick Fitzgerald's first start. Farouk and Len were asked to play their second game after 2 days, having not played any minutes at Goa and Mumbai. So they were obviously going to tire in the game. That was only natural. So when you put all that, the spirit and the courage the lads showed, keep going forward and keep. Nick, I thought, had a couple of terrific moves in the second half. Got shots away, looked a real threat all night. I was delighted with Nick Fitzgerald. And Farouk and Len, they're giving us a real threat going in behind. Obviously, the more we work at it, the better it will be. So it gives us a bit of pace going forward. And again, very important, we'd have loved to have won our last two games, but 2 clean sheets gives us a platform to try and get that goal and get those goals that will win you games. So that's what we have to do moving forward.
A couple of inevitable questions about Vasquez. Vasquez looks a shadow of his former self on the first part of the season. Is he under pressure, or is some niggle bothering him?
No, I think, to be fair to Nerka's played every minute of the game, because obviously Grundy's been out injured all season, and it's been an absolute credit to himself. But again, he looks a shadow of himself. He's hit one tonight, 25 yards. The keeper's made a great save off the post. He's brought us into the play. He's linked up with Nick Fitzgerald. So ultimately, people look and they think, oh, you've not scored a goal. If Angulo's not scored for a while, or Nerka's not scored for a while, or Roy Krishna hadn't scored for 3 or 4 games, oh, they're a shadow of themselves. You can't score every game. It's physically impossible for anybody to do that. Even the top strikers who come into this league, they couldn't score every game. I'm talking about world-class strikers, because it's so difficult to score goals. So Nerka still brings a lot to the team. So I think people really have to look, and if their understanding of the game is that if you've not scored a goal, you've not played well, then with all due respect, you don't understand the game.
Another one about him. We saw him being lonely up front, and therefore he drops deep to collect balls, and his presence in the penalty area is missing. Do you think your team is missing a player who can facilitate Vasquez?
Yeah, I think, listen, we'd love to have, as I had last year, a Crivellero, somebody like that. I think that would certainly add to what we want to do moving forward. But that's, as I said before, this was always going to be, about us developing. Jamshedpur's a club that's never been in the playoffs. We want to make sure we're in there fighting to do that. We've still got 6 games to go and pick up those points. We've obviously picked up 2 points to 2 draws. We'd have loved 2 wins, but we're in there with chances to win, so that's what we have to do. Moving into our next game, be ready to win the game. I think in the moment we sit 3 points off the playoffs. Obviously there's some games to be played by other teams, but come the weekend we could be right in the mix, and that's what we have to do.
Final one. Only 1 goal in 4 games, despite bringing in 2 fast-paced attacking players. Where is the team going wrong?
Sorry, 1 goal and what?
1 goal in 4 games,
yeah.
Despite bringing in 2 attacking players.
Yeah, well, and even the question itself, with all due respect, the 2 fast players that come in have only played 2 games. So you can't say 1 goal in 4 games and then say about 2 boys that have only played 2 games. So the bottom line is the 2 lads that have come in and did very, very well. And stats and facts, whatever you want to make. Prior to that, we've been leaking goals. I think we lost 7 or 8 goals, whatever it was, in 4 games. We get 2 clean sheets. So we've got to give credit for that and get the balance right. Make sure we're solid at the back, but have that goal threat. I think that's a fair assessment. Can we have a bigger goal threat? Yes. An answer to that question, if that makes more sense. And that's what we'll do moving forward.